It's that time of the week again. We are doing a loadout video and today it's the yellow loadout. So I would say some picks might be controversial. You let me know down in the description and I would say let's get right into the video. But first, don't forget about the giveaway. You will find it in the description and a quick word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Skin Baron, the marketplace for your next skins in your inventory. Skin Baron is a German company with a Trustpilot rating of 4.6, so you know you are dealing with a trusted platform. They offer amazing deals with savings of up to 30% cheaper than the Steam prices. That's right, 30% off on your favorite skins and items. And with over 1 million offers, you are guaranteed to find something you love thanks to its easy to use filter menu that makes finding the perfect skin a breeze. Plus, they make payments easy with options like credit card, Klarna, bank transfer and many more. It is also the perfect market to sell your skins and make some real cash out of them. And if you're selling a skin over 1,000 euros, you only have to pay 2% in fees. So if you want to upgrade your CS2 inventory and take advantage of these unbelievable prices, head over to skinbaron.com by just clicking the link in the description below. And don't forget to use my code. And now back to the video. So as always, we start off with the starter pistols. And for this T side, we have three options: the Bullet Queen, the Ramses Reach, and the Snack Attack. And if you want to consider it, the Reactor. So I chose the Bullet Queen. It's a bit more on the expensive side, but I would say it is a complete viable, cool looking gun. But the Ramses Reach would be my second option. On the CT side, we only have two options: the Torque and the Jawbreaker. Yes, the Jawbreaker is a bit of a controversial pick because the yellow isn't the primary color in my opinion on that gun, but it has a bit of yellow, so that is why I put it on the list. And here I would go with the Torque. Very cheap, simple design, and as a StatTrak factory new one, only €3.34. It's a steal. Moving on to the upgraded pistols. For the P250, we have the Wingshot. I would say classic skin, works good, and is in my opinion the only viable option. I also didn't really find a good alternative to the Wingshot. The 5.7 is actually offering us a couple of more options: the Monkey Business, the Buddy, and the Neon Kimodo on the very expensive side. And in my opinion, I'll just go with the Monkey Business because that was the gun a friend once gifted to me. I lost it when I got scammed, but it still has a bit of a sentimental value to me. For the Tech 9, we have three options: the Fuel Injector, the Terrace, and the Brass. And here I go with the Fuel Injector. I love the skin, and the other ones are, in my opinion, too expensive for my taste for a Tech 9. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Fuel Injector is the cheapest one here. And now the Deagle, oh boy, here it's gonna get a bit expensive. So we have the Blaze, obviously for the yellow setup since the fire is yellow. However, a good alternative would be the Desert Eagle Light Rail, and it is also way less expensive than the Blaze. So let us move on to the MPs and shotguns. For the Mag-10, we have a couple of options. We have the Stalker, the Gold Brick, the Discotheque, and the Amber Fade. And those prices go from very cheap to also expensive, for example the Stalker. But here I would go with the Discotheque, go with a good float, not too high in my opinion, cover up those more pink sides with some stickers, and have a beautiful yellow Mag-10. For the MP9, we have three options: the Bulldozer, which is goddamn expensive, then the Starlight Protector, and the Food Chain. Yes, the Food Chain is covering all of the colors in the spectrum. That is why I'm going with the Starlight Protector. It's a red and it's very cheap for what it is. And the Bulldozer, yes, it would be, I would say, the perfect match. However, it's just too expensive for me. Then the MP7 is blessing us with five options. We have the Nemesis, the Akoben, the Volt Heist, the Fade, and the Power Core. Yes, here again, the Power Core and the Volt Heist are a bit of a controversial pick since their primary color isn't yellow, but I still put them on the list if you're interested in those skins. However, personally, I'd go with the Nemesis. Cool skin, cool design, I like it. Then the P90, here I would say I might be stretching it a bit with a couple of picks, but we have the Randy Rush, the Scara B Rush, and the Shapewood. And yes, the Shapewood and maybe the Randy Rush are a bit of a controversial pick, and that is why I would go with the Scarab P, it's a pretty okay price for a P90. But the other ones, if you want a bit more variety, go with those. And you know what time it is? For all those PP enjoyers out there, we have again a couple of options. We have the Brass, the Judgment of Anubis, the Osiris, and I personally will go with the Judgment of Anubis because I've given this to a friend of mine as a birthday present and he always likes to use it and keeps somehow killing people, and I don't even know how that is happening, and that is why the Judgment of Anubis is my pick. Moving on to everyone's favorite auto shotgun, it's the XM, and here we have two options. It's the Incinerator and the Teklu Burner. Personally, I'd go with the Teklu Burner. It's cheaper than the other one and you can get a low float for €2, which is almost nothing. For the Mag 7, we have two options, the Bulldozer and the Hazard, and here I would go with the Bulldozer because with the starting price of the Mag 7, I might be able to get a half-assed decent Bulldozer. Then we are moving on to the Assault Rifles, and the first one is the Galil, and here we have four options, the Chatterbox, the Cerberus, the Caution, and the Amber Fate. All of them are pretty expensive for what they are, in my opinion. That is why I would go with the Chatterbox. It has the lowest starting price, and yeah, it's also a cool design with when the gun shoots and the mouth moves. On the other side, we have three options for the FAMAS, the Commemoration, the Meltdown, and the Neural Net. And here I would go for the Neural Net. It's the cheapest one out of the bunch. Yes, the Commemoration is pretty cool and is okay priced. The Meltdown, yeah, I'm not seeing it, but I would go with the Neural Net. And now to the M4A1S, we have the Golden Coil, the Chanticos Fire, the Fade, the Emperosaurus S, and the Knight. So a couple of those ones I would say a non-brainer. The Emperosaurus S would fit if previously you always went with those greenish yellowish skins, so that could fit in good with that. However, I would go with the Golden Coil. I like the design, and yeah, the other ones, the Chanito's Fire is just for me a bit too much, and Emperosaurus S isn't really speaking to me. Fade and the Knight are too expensive for me. The M4A4 isn't giving us a lot of options. It is still plenty. We have the Buzzkill, the Coalition, the Eye of Horus, the Cybersecurity, and the Zika. And here I would just go with the Buzzkill. It's a cheap red skin that even in StatTrak would look good. I personally have the Cybersecurity because of those red colors. It would also be a good option, but it's a bit more expensive than the Buzzkill. And for the AK, it is not disappointing us. It is giving us a lot of skins. Maybe some are a bit stretching the banner yellowish skin, but you can decide for yourself. We have the Nightwish, the Fuel Injector, the Gold Arabesque, the Inheritance, the Outsiders, B, the Monster, the Empress, the Headshot, and the Case Hardened, but get one that has the least blue on it, and maybe the Panthera Onka. If I had the choice, I would go with the Nightwish. The Fuel Injector would be a cool skin, but you would have to spend a bit more. I personally use the Empress, but I see that one more on the red loadout than on the yellow one. And the Case Hardened would be a cool idea. However, you would have to spend a lot of time searching for a mostly yellow one. Moving on to our scope weapons, the AUG is giving us three options, the Torque, the Said Mead, and the Amber Fade. And I personally would go with the Torque because of my USPS that I had before. It would match perfectly, and it is also pretty cheap for what it is. On the SG side, we also have three options. We have the Colony 4, the Hazard Pay, and the Bulldozer. And here I'd personally just go with the most cheapest one, which is the Colony 4, starting off at €5, because damn, those other ones are expensive. Yes, they might not be as clean as the Colony 4, but you cannot beat the price. Then our snipers, the Scout is giving us three options. We have the Big Iron, the Bloodshot, and the Deathstrike. In here I would just go with the Big Iron, pretty cheap, and it has the lowest starting price out of those three, and that is why I would go for that one. And now our AWP, here we have five options. We have the Wildfire, the Phobos, the Fade, the Dragon Lore, and the Man of War. And here I would go with the Man of War. I like those golden accents, and if you go for more of a goldish design for your skins, I see this one fitting perfectly into your loadout. And it also might affect your knife and glove combo. And because I just spoke about them, let's go right into the knife. For the knife, we have two options. The Tiger Tooth, which is leaning a bit more to the orange side, and if you want to go more for the gold version, I would say the Lore is the best option for you. I have picked out the Huntsman and the Bowie knife. However, you can get the Lore one for way less if you go for those higher flow overlooked ones, especially this example of the flip knife. When we move on to the gloves, we have a couple of options here. We might be stretching it for a couple of gloves, but for the safe ones, I would say the Caution, the Omega, and a yellow bandit would be a safe pick, and some of them are also pretty cheap, especially the yellow bandit. Then for the options, that would be stretching it, the Transport, the Air Raid, the Queen Jaguar, the Badlands, and I hope I'm gonna say this correct, Desert Shamagach. So those were my picks for a yellow loadout. Let me know down below what your opinions are. Did I miss something, or are you completely happy with my choices? Anyways, don't forget to check out the giveaway in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys on the next one.